Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Maza Bitcoin. I rode roughly 80 kilometers today. Usually I try to do 100 kilometers more or less. It's a nice little river here. I'm getting very near the ocean front of Vietnam, southern Vietnam. Here's my bicycle. This is where you clip your phone. This thing's really cool. This they didn't have some years ago. I got this online from Australia. Very helpful. It locks your phone onto here so you can use your phone in your map as you're riding. That's where all my pee goes. When I have to pee, I don't stop pedaling. I just open up the container and I just pee straight into the container, and then, you know, if I don't have water, I just drink that. So anyway, if you believe that, I've got things for sale for you. So here's the other side of the river. It's really, I just love Vietnam. Oh, look at that there. Vietnam's super cool for so many reasons. It's inexpensive, it's extremely beautiful. And it's important for it to be inexpensive if you're saving your Bitcoin or you're holding Bitcoin, and you know that the next time Bitcoin might drop one off year, a sleep one year is 2022. But right now is a buy time in Bitcoin. It's still around. Bitcoin's still around 9,000 US. I think it's 8,800 something. Sometimes I buy small coins that are very risky. I wouldn't recommend it, but sometimes I buy them just simply because I have a strategy, an investment strategy, and I'll buy little unknown coins just if I think they are so low that they have nowhere else to go but up in price. But that's for the more experienced Bitcoin investors, and I don't know that the listeners of this channel even like Bitcoin, you know. I would ask the people of this channel if they please, if you don't, and you have no interest in Bitcoin, and I somehow sent this video to you, or you're watching this video, please do me a favor, and if you can, and find people who are interested in Bitcoin and interested in having a better future, and share the channel with them, because I don't know how to self-promote, you know. I really don't know how to. It's the same thing with my music. Like I write music. Obviously, I like the music that I do, but I don't know how to promote it. I'm not a promoter. So if you see this channel, Mother Bitcoin, you're just one of very few people who get to ride with me from Vietnam to Europe, and you can see a lot of the ride. Oh shit. Sorry, my charger cord went, my Apple charging cord went crazy. Didn't want it to get inside of my wheel. So here we are riding. We're just near Munay. It's a place called PhanTet. I think it's called Phantet maybe. If I see a sign, I'll show you. But it's a beautiful place. Flower markets, beautiful local dogs. Of course, this is Vietnam, so it's a communist country. And there's proof, apparently. Communism and socialism may have its place, but that's a complicated subject that I don't know if anyone understands what I'm talking about. Especially if English isn't your first language. Communism just a 共产主义的 共产主义. And socialism and communism is a form of how governments can control their people but keep them employed to a certain degree. But it's always failed throughout history. There's a gas station. Communism and socialism tend to fail. Communism is not the same as socialism. they typically rotate into those systems and then back into capitalism, which capitalism obviously has brought the world most invention and wealth in the trickle-down theory. So if you're a capitalist, you're nowadays that's kind of a bad word, but I don't think it should be a bad word because it brings a lot of wealth to the world, and even these people here, every one of these people, they have the same phone that I do. They all have. I have an old, Apple phone. I think everyone here has an Apple phone, an old Apple phone or a Samsung. So, sorry. In some very real way, the world is improving in a strange way in which, everyone's in their phone and inside of their favorite program on YouTube, whatever that might be, doing the little things with their brain. But I think it's a shame that humans have detached themselves as much as possible from their human bodies. I see a lot of the young people, they don't use their bodies so much, and so they get fat, and of course with fat comes unhappy, and a lot of these people spend their lives in a chair, in a job, on a computer, and that never works out well. We have to use our bodies to have a healthy mind, but a lot of people don't seem to know this. Getting back to what I was saying, well, we'll finish the capitalism thing. We don't really have capitalism in the United States anymore. When I say we, I don't really mean me, because I'm not part of that country anymore. But to have capitalism, you must have capital, right? You must have reserved funds, something that you worked for that's being held in reserve. That's a capital, to have capitalism. But we don't, we have crony capitalism, which is where basically a mafia called the Central Banks and Federal Reserve, they print the money. So that's your capital. So it's not capitalism actually at all. It's just called that, but it's not really capitalism. A mating frenzy. Yeah, so we have crony capitalism rather. It's not what capitalism ever really was. You have to have reserves and a hard money, which, of course, you know me, I'm going to tie this back to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the world's only hard money, and so that's the thing we need to look into and research. And you can listen to this channel, Mother Bitcoin, even if I have only 10 people that watch a show or 20 people that watch a show. It doesn't matter to me. It's kind of like playing music, Sometimes you play a guitar show for 10 people, and it's a lot better than playing for thousands of people, which I haven't done for years. Used to, but that was when I was drumming and singing. Hopefully that'll happen again, but I don't know. Strange, you improve your art and your skill, but yet times change, and what people want, they don't really. Live shows have sort of taken a back seat to Uncle Google, in my opinion. But anyway, so I'm close to my destination of Mune. It's kind of the southernmost point, not southernmost. I don't have a map, and everyone at this channel knows I do no editing. I won't edit anything. I just had a Lakers shirt on. I just like to let the phone record. I upload it onto YouTube, which is owned by Uncle Google, and then I just delete it from my phone. Yeah, there's I don't edit anything. I don't believe. Hello. I don't believe in editing because there's too much going on in life, and life happens too fast. Going up a little hill here. But yeah, this place is so cool. Just a damn cool place. Cool people, and look at this cool stoplight, and looks like I'm gonna catch it just right. This is a town called PhanTet, And I've been here before. I've been here in my life, how many times I've come in and out of PhanTet from Ho Chi Minh and from Hanoi. This would be roughly my 6th time here. But I keep coming back because it's great. It's cool. It's totally free. The food is delicious and dirt cheap. You can have like large avocado drinks for 30 NT. I'm sorry, for like $1, you know, US. Eat great meals. Just things are so different and interesting that instead of being bored in your home country. So some of the people that watch the show might have interest in doing what I'm doing, this type of travel. I've been doing it, well, I did a large trip through Indonesia, 1995. I did some trips through the parts of the United States and done some European trips through Spain and into Morocco and Africa and various others, even in the United States. The United States is a little tough though because, oh, just so many reasons, just so many reasons. I would recommend if you wanted to do a great bike ride, Southeast Asia is a great place to do it. And it doesn't really cost anything, you know, just save a little money. You don't need a lot. I would recommend bringing a tent. And if you really want to be super free like I'm doing on this trip, bring your tent to the ocean, to the seaside, and sleep on the beach. Sleep on the beach. And the reason for this it's not about money really. It's just about freedom, you know. It's another type of freedom when you don't need to rent a hotel every night. It's another type of freedom, but it all comes down to what kind of person you are, how much you care about freedom. 你自己多在意那个自由。有一些人，他们一定都，他们并不太需要很多自由啊。But I do, you know. I need a lot of freedom in my life, and freedom has it has a lot to do with money, and then it has a little to do with money. So I recommend buying some Bitcoin. In the future, if someone has 1 Bitcoin, they'll be rich, and then just save a little money for travel, and then trade your Bitcoin in and out, and use those funds to just travel. You'll be free for the rest of your life. If you're going back into my early videos and listening to what I'm saying, you know, in my earlier videos, I didn't start this channel. This channel hasn't been alive very long, so here's this little dog. Holy shit! So I didn't start this channel very long ago. But had you been listening to what I was saying since my first videos, you would have made maybe 20% in your Bitcoin already. You would have made 20% of your money, whatever you allocated towards Bitcoin. 你已经会赚了20%，20%。And now I gotta check my map to see if I'm going the right way. These guys always sleep on their scooters like that. It's pretty cool. I don't know how you sleep on scooters, but they manage to. One thing I noticed, I just passed one. I noticed one thing they changed in Vietnam is these same roads, there are churches everywhere. The last time, I mean Christian churches. The last time I was here, there were no Christian churches. Then all of a sudden, every 10 miles, there's a goddamn Christian church. It's just so absurd. Like a spider web, actually. But that's another video for another conversation, another day. Anyway, here I am in beautiful PhanTet. Beautiful things to see and do. I'll show you the ocean when I get there. And thanks for watching Mother Bitcoin. Again, to finish off, the price of Bitcoin right now is it's trying to push up over 9,000 US dollars. It's trying to, but it hasn't. It touched 9,000 and came back down. So the one interesting thing about Bitcoin, I like to say, is traders will trade. What does that mean? Well, I mean, no matter what Bitcoin's price should be, they'll be trading it, you know what I mean? They'll be trading it up and down. So when it hits nice thick round numbers like 9,000, 10,000, there will be points where traders will short it. They'll short Bitcoin and it'll drop a little bit, but just don't worry. For most people, I would just recommend buy Bitcoin and don't touch it. Just buy it and hold it and leave it there. And so hello. Hi. So I'll end the video there. Beautiful people, beautiful place, beautiful country, Vietnam. Okay then, 晚一点再说了，ciao ciao.